Alyssa. All right, Alyssa. So we're gonna start standing. We've got our folks. We're gonna start standing. I'm gonna ask that you get. Sorry, before I said we're gonna start, I should have asked. Grab like an old T-shirt or a strap or something that you have, some cloth with some length. Like I'm gonna use T-shirt, tank top, just the stuff that I have. I'm gonna start with that. What up, Alyssa? I'm gonna start with a T-shirt. Gotta grab an old tee. Thank you. All right, so come to standing evenly. Maybe your feet about hip distance apart. And first things first, shift your weight forward and back between the balls of your feet and your heels. So you get an even stance. Yeah, when you have that front to back plane, see about doing the same thing right to left. Just so we can find that, just the center point of all your weight. Just find that middle ground. Nice, and bring a slight bend to your knees, just a little bit. Maybe you can give a couple bounces just to wake up the joint, get it ready to hold this position, and just stand up nice and tall. Legs about straight, slight bend in the knees. Take your navel up in toward your spine. Oh, a dog. Yeah, awesome. And relax your shoulders. And take your hands to the ends of your shirt or wherever as wide as you can get them. And just start to lift right up. Now I'm gonna do this kneeling so that you can see my whole self in the picture, but you keep standing. So as you're reaching up and open, up and over, just let it be the first one. Let it be easy. Reaching your shirt up and over, give it a little pressure, pulling apart. Hey, Amelia, all right. Draw your shoulders gently down your back. So there's not a whole lot of effort here, but you are engaged, pressing your arms up, relaxing your shoulders down, fists gently away from each other to pull on this shirt or whatever you've got. At the same time, draw your low belly in. See about drawing your ribs in. Now find that extent of the pose for you. So standing just as tall as you can, reaching your arms just as long as they can, gently drawing apart with the shirt, and then pull it back 10%. Just with your effort, pull it back 10. Begin to check in with your breath. Yeah, and you may start to feel something. Maybe you've started feeling something already. Just stay here in the breath and let that feeling be. If something starts to shake, maybe your shoulders, which will probably fatigue first, when they start to tell you, I don't want to, just calmly come back to your breath and stay. And take one more inhale, just like this. Reach up with your arms, out with your fists. And the exhale, gently release everything down. You can let your shirt go for a moment. Just let your hands wiggle, shoulders wiggle, take a little movement side to side. Just let the body process the movement. Nice. And take your arms straight out by your sides. Again, realign your stance. You have a strong base through your feet, a slight bend in your knees, length through your torso. Draw your low belly in, relax your shoulders down. In fact, turn your palms face up. So your thumb facing back behind you. And see how that opens up the front of the chest, opens up the shoulders. You have that external rotation of the upper arm. Now keep your chest and back and torso and upper arms just like that. But gently flip your palms back over. So you still have that external rotation, standing tall, shoulders down. Yeah, and then just like you did in this position, pulling your arms apart, feel your fingertips reaching away from each other. Maybe even create a little bit of space between your shoulders. And now these first few breaths, your greatest effort is not holding your arms up, but rather drawing them away from each other. Begin to come back to your breath. Steady, steady. And if you notice that your mind says, I don't want to, just notice that. And even notice if your mind says, okay, we're not doing anything. What the hell is going on? I thought this was yoga. Just stay. Stay and breathe. Notice where your posture starts to become unrefined. Oftentimes in the hip, your tailbone may start to poke out and back. See if you can keep your hips level and center. Your shoulders may start to roll forward, so you can keep that space across your chest. You may notice your chin tilting forward or your head rolling back, so you can keep your roof of your crown, roof of your head reaching up toward the ceiling. Slow your breath. Nice. One more in. Exhale, slowly release. That wasn't very slow. Let's relax your arms. Maybe give your hands a shake. Turning your shoulders side to side. Nice. You're going to set up for eagle arms. So you set your right elbow inside your left. And you can bring the backs of your hands together or your palms all the way around. And wrap them around tight. Nice. If you go there, lift your elbows. And start to press your forearms forward. Imagine this opening up your shoulder blades. You're drawing, the emphasis here is not forearms forward, rather shoulder blades apart. And with that, you can start to press elbows and hands forward. Feel that new space up and under there. Breathe there. Really slow, sweet breaths. One more. Exhale, gently unwind. Again, a little movement, maybe rolling your head, maybe rolling your shoulders. Just some space for the body to process. Nice, and we begin to set up the other side. Just as a beginner, come back to your posture. Spread all your toes evenly. Re-engage through your feet, slight bend in your knees, low belly in. Then start to set up your eagle arms the other side. Left elbow inside your right. Take your variation. First move is to lift your elbows up. And then open your shoulder blades by pressing your elbows and hands forward. And see if by engaging your center, ever so slightly, it doesn't need to be an ab workout, just engaging the core, getting this trunk all involved, you can get a little bit more space between your shoulder blades. Therein, doing a little effort to get a little ease. Slow and sweet breaths into your lungs that fit right up here underneath each shoulder blade. Really space out. One more in. On the exhale, gently unwind. Again, a little gentle movement from your fingers to your shoulders to the crown of your head. Nice. And interlace your hands at your low back. Take a few rolls of the shoulders. Bring them forward in front of you, up near your ears, and then gently back down. Take a few rounds like that. Nice, and then draw your shoulder blades toward one another and down your back so they're away from your ears. If you have your hands interlaced, bring them off your bum. So just a little bit of space there, maybe a little bend in the elbows. It doesn't need to be super stretchy gymnast looking thing. Just clasp them. A little bit more bend in your knees. On an inhale, look up, lift your chest, big in. Exhale and fold forward. Bring your hands and shoulders up over your head. You can experiment here with this pose. The more you straighten out your legs, your knees, the more this will get in your hamstrings, and the more bend you give, maybe a bit more rounding in your lower back you can find. And just let your shoulders relax. Again, let your breath be sweet. Wherever you start to feel the effort coming in, see if in your shoulders and your neck you can find a little ease. Nice. Keep your hands clasped just as they are. Bend your right knee a lot. Straighten out your left leg and turn your chest to the left. You're turning your chest out and maybe up to the ceiling so your hands will reach out to the right behind you. Yeah, nice, just like that. Breathe into that left side of the body. Let that be all open. Keep drawing your left hip back. Relax your neck. And then really slow and gentle, start to switch. You bend your left knee, straighten out your right leg. Breathe all into that right side. Yeah, doggy's gonna help. Nice, bring it gently back to center. Release your hands down, take a forward fold. So you can let your hands hang down to the ground in front of you, or maybe interlace your hands with opposite elbows. Yeah, whatever will assist in this pose. Maybe start to straighten out your legs just a little bit. Rather than pressing your knees back to straighten your legs, think about lengthening from your sit bones to your heels. So it's your hips lifting that straightens your legs rather than your knees pushing straight back. Allow that lift from the legs to take your torso forward and maybe a little bit more weight into your toes. Just a few more breaths, just to be right here. Yeah, we're not going anywhere. It's okay, it's a little boring to start. Stay in the breath. Nice. Bring a little bit more bend back to your knees. And one vertebra at a time, roll all the way back up to stand. When you get there, take a little movement. You can wiggle your neck and your shoulders and your hips and your knees. Just let it be loose. Spend some time getting wiggly. Nice. And come back to your stance right at the top of the mat. Bring your big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Just a little bit of bend in the knees that allows your hips to stay even, belly button to stay in. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Just a few breaths to feel this new space. We got all sides of the shoulders, up into the chest, into the upper back. Just a few breaths to enjoy the space. On your next inhale, reach your hands up, but keep your shoulders down. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. Find a halfway lift on your inhale, hands to your shins, shoulders roll back. On the exhale, plant your hands, step back to a plank position. Stay for just a moment. So now all those aspects of standing are going to come back into this pose. Now it's essentially the same thing, right? Your body's just long on one plane. See if you can get all those same cues. Can you keep your hips even? Not tilting back, popping your booty out, not tilting forward, bringing your navel in. Can you draw your navel in toward your spine, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe. Maybe shift forward onto your tiptoes, just one inhale here. On the exhale, lower your knees down, and then the rest of you all the way down. Press into the tops of your feet to lift your chest, rather than up. See if you can lift it forward, your shoulders away from your ears. Yeah, stay a few rounds. Get really strong in your legs, pressing your toes down into the mat. Shoulders away from your ears, chest draws forward, steady, easy breath. Let the effort be in your legs here. Now all that effort, that screaming tight, hard, yeah, all that effort is gonna allow your belly and your chest to be easy, easy and soft. Let all of this come from the legs. And one more inhale here. Exhale, release everything down. Press yourself up to a tabletop. And tuck your toes under and start to build up in your downward facing dog. And I do mean build it. Take your time. Wiggle around, pedal your feet, bend your knees, sway your hips, all that good stuff. And then begin to start to find some stillness here. Now the limiting factor, or I guess the most apparent limiting factor with people's flexibility in downward facing dog comes from the hamstring. So if at any time it starts to pull on your hamstrings, bend your knees a little bit. It doesn't matter if your heels reach the floor or not. All right, but see if you can build this pose from your center out. So you just all those same cues that we had in standing and then we had in the plank position. If you can even your hips. Yeah, see if you can get them just even relative to your rib cage. They're just even with your spine. So you lengthen out your spine, draw your shoulders away from your ears. Low ribs in and breathe. And keeping all of those alignments in mind, then maybe start to press your heels away from your sit bones so you can lengthen out your hamstrings. Steady breath. Steady pressure into both palms. Yeah. Keep breathing. Keep the length through your arms, through your spine, through your legs. When you get that little voice that says, okay, I get it, it's hard, I get it, breathe. All the asana, all the physical yoga practices are to take you there to this point where your mind says, okay, I don't know if I'm doing this, and you stay and breathe. Of course, if it's pain, avoid pain. See where it's just discomfort. Begin to bend your knees, lift your heels, look forward, and step your feet to the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift, hands to shins, shoulders back. I know, huh? Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, rise all the way up to stand, reach up. Come back to your even standing pose, hands by your side. Yeah, alignment through the body. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, shoulders back, low belly up and in. Exhale, plant your hands, step back and lower down, whatever your level of lower down is. And maybe you drop your knees, maybe you lower down halfway. On your inhale, take your back bend, baby cobra or upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, steady breath out. Inhale to ground. Exhale, control. Once more, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Bend your knees, look forward, step forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, pull. Roots arise, reach out all the way up. The exhale takes you right back down, forward fold. Halfway lift in. Plant your hands, step urge, float your feet back, high to low, push up or knees down. Peel open for the inhale, enjoy it, the whole breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Immediately come back into the breath. See if you can avoid any little movements, little wiggles, just commit to the stillness of the pose. One more in, lengthen. Exhale, let it go. Bend your knees, look forward, step forward. Find a halfway lift. On the exhale, pull. Rise all the way up, reach up. Exhale, hands by your sides and stand for just a moment. So you come back to all these cues. Engage through your feet, slight bend in your knees, low belly in, shoulder back, roof lifting. Now keep everything the same in your torso. Keep your torso just as it is. Take your hands out wide by your sides, just like we did before. And start to, again, keep your torso just the way it is. Both feet pressing down. Start to twist open to the left. Now, as you bring your left hand back, your right hand forward, notice where your left hip wants to turn with you. And we're not twisting from the knees. We want to twist from the center. So if you can, as you reach your left hand back, bring your left hip forward. Let this twist come from deep inside here. Relax your shoulders. Energy through your fingertips. If it's possible, bring your fingers together. Tuck your thumb in there on the side, just so you keep that really intent drawing apart. Nice. Keep this twist. Bend your left elbow. Bring your left hand to the back of your left hip. Nice. Start to take your right fingertips straight up. Keep your gaze down to the left, maybe back toward your left elbow. Start to press your hips forward, reach your right hand up and over. Yeah, slight bend in the knees, keep your core engaged. And gently bring it back to center, both hands by your side. Check back into your posture. Engage legs, belly in, shoulders relaxed down, spine long. Bring your hands out long by your sides. We'll start by bringing your fingertips together. Or not your fingertips, but your fingers together. And it might seem trivial, right? A very small cue like that. But when things get hard, it's the little details that start to come apart first, right? The little threads that unravel. So keep that engaged. And start to twist open to the right. Right hand back, left hand forward. Keep drawing your right hip forward the same. So this twist comes from mid-torso. Thoracic spine there in the center. Get your shoulders away from your ears. And bend your right elbow, bring it down to the back of your right hip. Keep your gaze back toward your right elbow so you keep this twist across. Left fingertips up high. So to press your right hip forward and reach your left hand up and over. And notice where your weight shifts. See if you can press into both feet. One more in here. Exhale, gently release back to center and take a little wiggle movement. Shoulders relax, hands relax, neck relax. Nice. Standing tall, big toes to touch heels slightly apart. Bend your knees and bring your fingertips down to the ground. Yeah, just get right here first. Bend your knees. However, whatever needs to happen with your legs and your back, so you can get your fingertips down to the ground. Nice. And then start to lengthen out your spine and see if you can get your shoulder blades to draw back. So it comes from your center and your hips, not so much rounding your spine forward, but keeping a long reach from the tailbone to the crown of your head so you can get your low belly off the thighs. Yeah, your fingertips will come up off the ground. So just sit your bum down just as much as you can. And play with that balance there. Maybe reach your hands forward to counterbalance. Get a little bit more weight in your heels. Yeah, really strong and all the muscles around your thighs. Engage your butt. Yeah, engage your butt. Soften around your breath. You soften the muscles in your chest, muscles in your shoulders. One more in. On the exhale, fold forward. You start to bend one knee and then the other, maybe bounce them just a little bit. Just let that release in your back, in your legs. Nice. Again, bring your feet together. Find your chair pose. Bend your knees a lot. Sit low. Reach your hands up high this time. Yeah. Nice. Bring your fingertips together. Bring your fingertips together. Keep that effort through the arms. Long through the arms. Lengthen out. Let that reach be your focus rather than how fiery your quads are getting or how hot your butt is. Just let it be the reach. One more inhale, sit a little bit lower, reach a little bit higher. And exhale, pull. Halfway lift on the in. Plant your hands, step your feet back and lower down. Either knees or high to low. On the inhale, heel open. Exhale, downward facing. Nice. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Pivot your left heel down, rise up into your warrior one. Build this from the ground up. Right left toes out about a 45-ish. Not that important. Keep drawing your left hip forward as you press your left heel back. There's an active opening in the flexors on the left side. Then let your fingertips rise up. Maybe you can get a little bit more bend in your right knee. At the same time, pressing back through the left heel, really active through the hips. Yeah, all the effort is here. All the effort is in your legs, in your hips, around your center. So therefore, let everything from your rib cage on up. Keep the length, but see if you can draw some of the effort out. You find a sense of ease in your upper body. Low belly in. Inhale, reach up, look up, maybe even a little bit of back bend. Exhale, plant your hands, step back and lower down. With control, you'll open the inhale slow. Exhale, up and back, nice and slow. Yeah, those transitions, that's the word vinyasa. Vinyasa means movement with breath. The vinyasa class is all about moving with intention in that breath. Step your left foot forward between your hands, pivot your right heel down. Start to rise up in your warrior one and take your time. Really get that, set that really intentional pressing into the right heel. At the same time, drawing right hip forward. Get that all set. All the energy is in the legs, in your torso. And let your upper body be light. See what it does to the pose to maybe squeeze your right glute a little bit more. maybe see what it does to get a little bit more weight into your front leg. I'm just exploring in these shapes. Everybody's going to get a little bit something different. Last inhale, reach up, look up, maybe even a little back bend. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, lower down. All on that one exhale with control. You open the inhale. Up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. Just a moment to get set in that position. And then bring your breath into focus. All the same cues apply. Strong connection in your palms, long arms, shoulders away from your ears. Lengthen out your spine. Add a little stretch from your tailbone or your sit bones to your heels. Breathe in. On your next inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or float to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. And chair pose, sit low, reach high, just one inhale. Exhale, stand up tall. The very next inhale, chair pose, right back down. Exhale and fold. Halfway lift, inhale, long spine. Plant your hands, send your feet back, lower down. Open on the in. Up and back on the exhale. Step your right foot forward, left heel down, rise up warrior one. And get set for just a moment. We're going to take one big inhale to reach up. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, lower down. All on that one exhale, slow. Open on the in. Up and back on the out. Left foot forward, rise up, warrior one. So your right heel down. The whole time, one inhale. Long exhale to come back down. Plant, step back, lower down. Open on the in. Up and back on the exhale. Nice. Just a moment to settle into your breath. And take your right leg long to the sky. Press through your heel. Press through your right heel. Flex your toes down to the mat. Yeah, see if you can press into your palms a little bit more to get a little bit more length through your right heel. Yeah, nice, just like that. Now one more in. On the exhale, bring your right knee to your nose. All the way forward, pressing your hands round through your back. Inhale, reach it all the way up and back, just the same. And do it again. Knee to your nose, pressing round through. Once more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, step it through. Set your left knee down. Nice. Bring both hands to the top of your right knee. Spend just the next few breaths creating a little length in your spine and then pressing forward into your hips. Each inhale, a little more length. Each exhale, press gently forward. Maybe you like to add a little right to left in your hips, maybe circles or figure eights or do the little Shakira thing. Whatever it is, you just be here in the hips for a moment. Nice. Now bring your hips to, find a happy halfway between your right heel and your left knee. Right, just about in the center. Nice. Take both hands up tall. On the exhale, take an open arm twist to the right. Your right hand back, left hand forward, just like we did standing. And your base is a little bit different, but see if you can find those same aspects. Can you even out your hips? You find a little length in your spine, shoulders away from your ears, and energy through your fingers. Engage the base of your pelvis, called Mula Bandha, drawing up that energy up from the bits. Yeah, the bits between the bits, right in there. At the same time, draw your low belly in to complete that energy lock at your center. Bring your right hand down to the back of your left leg. Your left fingertips up high. Press forward into your hips. Maybe gaze down to your right hand. Just a big inhale here. On the exhale, find a dragonfly twist. So you plant your left hand down, right fingertips up to the sky. Tuck your left toes under and straighten out your left leg. Yep, you got it. Nice. Keep that energy pressing back through your left heel. Lengthen out through the crown. See if you can use that axis, that long central axis, to twist your torso open a little bit more from the center. One more inhale like this. Maybe peel open a little bit more. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. And then your left leg long. Way up and back. Press through your heel, left toes down to the mat. See if you can really intentionally draw more energy from the ground into your palms. I know it sounds like some Avatar, Nickelodeon type thing, but see if you can imagine that. You get a little more effort through your palms, up through the arms, down your torso, out through your heel. One more in, lengthen up. Exhale, knee to your nose. Press your hands and round through your back. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to your nose. Round through. Once more, inhale, way up and back. On the exhale, slow and controlled, step it through. Set your right knee down. Both hands top of your left knee. Just spend a few breaths. This gentle opening into the hips. A little forward and back, maybe a little side to side. All right, and then draw yourself back to neutral, halfway between front heel and back knee. Reach your hands up tall, draw your low belly in, inhale. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Yeah, so right hand's forward, left hand back. Nice. Can you square your hips, even out your hips? Low belly in. All right, so the twist is coming from your center, your thoracic, rather than from your hips and your legs. That's all stable. Shoulders away from your ears. And that same amount of reach through your fingertips. Breathe. Start to reach your left hand down the back of your right leg, your right fingertips up high. Maybe your gaze can follow your left hand. Just one more inhale here. Reach up, press hips forward. Exhale, right palm down, left fingertips up to the sky. Tuck your right toes under and straighten out your right leg. Nice, a lot of pressing back through the right heel. At the same time, draw your legs toward one another, so in toward the midline of your body. So you turn on your adductors on the inside. Yeah. Line up that central axis from your heel through the crown of your head. Allow that to spin your torso a little bit wider. Yeah, one more inhale, just like this. Big inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward facing. And get a little bit more weight into your hands and lift your heels and tiptoe your feet forward toward your wrists. All the way forward, just as tiptoey as you can be. Take all the time in the world to get there. Maybe tiptoes all the way. All right, set your heels down, relax your torso forward. Process. Time for the body to process the movement. Let it be relaxed from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Bend your knees a little bit more. Roll one vertebra at a time all the way up to stand. Nice and slow. The head comes up last. Nice. Bring your big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Shift your weight into your right foot. So you bring your left knee up into your chest. And first move here, you can grab around your knee, draw it in toward your chest, low belly in. And if you do, rather than leaning back with your chest, see if you can bring it forward, go into the stretch. Nice. Now keep your knee just as high as you can. Reach your hands up. Keep your left toes flexed up toward your knee. Now, all those same cues. Can you keep your hips level? Your left hip wants to lift with the knee. See if you can keep it down in a line. That might bring your left knee down a little bit or your heel inward. That's okay. Lengthen through the sides. Relax your shoulders. One more in here. On the exhale, gently step back to a crescent lunge. So arms are up, step back to your left foot. Press back through the heel. Yeah, up tall. On your next inhale, shift your weight forward, come right back to your knee into your chest. Yeah, exhale there. Again, in. On the exhale, step it back, crescent lunge. Exhale there and settle. Inhale, step forward, knee into chest. Exhale, step it back. Once more, inhale, forward, knee up and in. Exhale, step it back. And take an open arm twist to the right. Left hand forward, right hand back. Nice. And now keep that effort through your left heel. Your torso won't have much effort. That's okay, that's stable there. Let this effort come from your hips and your left leg pressing really firmly back. And bring your right hand down to the back of your left leg. Left fingertips up high. One in. Exhale, release. Plant your hands, step back, lower down. High to low, push. Feel open the inhale. Down dog on the exhale. Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk or float to the top of the mat. Travel to the top. Nice. Halfway lift. Hold in. Bend your knees to rise all the way up. Reach it. Bring your right knee into your chest. Clasp your hands around. Your hands are there to squeeze your knee in a little bit tighter. Instead of leaning back, lean into the stretch. Chest forward, belly in. Will help a lot to keep your right toes flexed up toward your knee. Yeah. Engage the flexors there. And take your hands up tall. Keep your knee in. All those cues. Strong left leg. See if you can level your hips. It may turn your right knee out just a little bit and might come down. It's okay. Lengthen through your sides. Shoulders away from your ears. Steady breath. One more in. On the exhale, step it back, crescent lunge. Just a moment to settle. A little bit more bend in your left knee. Really firm, pressing back through your right heel. And set yourself up so that each time you come through this, you know exactly the feeling. You know exactly where you're going. A little bit more weight in your left foot. Inhale, step forward, knee up and in. Exhale there. In. Exhale to step it back, crescent lunge. Inhale, step forward, knee in. Exhale, take it back, crescent lunge. Once more, inhale, up and in. Exhale, step it back. Settle into your pose, really firm, pressing back to the right heel. Up on an inhale, reach up. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Right hand forward, left hand back. Yeah. Belly in, everything tight here. Relax shoulders. I guess not so much relax them as draw them away from your ears. And then really, really with a lot of effort, press back through the right heel. All right, left hand down, back of your right leg, right fingertips up, one in. Exhale, unwind, plant your hands, step back, low down. All on the exhale, I know, it's a lot. Open on the in, up and back on the out. And breathe, settle into the breath. Nice, now lift your heels, bend your knees a lot, bring your gaze forward, and imagine you're jumping through to a seat. Just imagine it first. I would say, okay, I'm gonna have to jump through, bring my knees up and in, really engage my core, a little bit more pressure in my hands. And when you're ready, maybe you could try it. You jump all the way through. That's it. Yeah, nice. I dig it. I dig it. Take your legs out long in front of you. And root down into your sit bones. Now that might include pulling the bits out from beneath your bits. You know what I mean? Legs out long. Press down your heels. Flex your toes back toward your face. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hold forward. Keep reaching with your fingertips just as far as you can, wherever your hands land. Yes, gentle connection and then folding. And start to walk your hands back, bring your torso up. Nice, walk your hands back behind your hips. A couple different variations you can do here. You can plant the sole of your feet, knees up tall, reverse tabletop, press up and out. If you'd like a little bit more challenge, you can keep your legs straight, press all of your toes down into the mat to lift your hips. Stay for 3. 2. And 1. Gently release it all the way down. Bring your heels about as wide as your mat. Nice. So you're still in this straight legged, but heels are slightly further out. Nice. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way forward, just as much as you can. Wherever your hands land, make that gentle connection and draw your shoulders back, your chest through toward your hands. Nice. If you notice that you have a lot of rounding going on in your back, see if you can maybe shorten up your grip and draw your shoulders back. So the intention here is to lengthen out the spine rather than fold in, fold out, forward. Nice. And then gently release, walk your hands back. One more time through, plant your hands behind. You can plant your feet, reverse tabletop, or straight legs all the way up and out. Let all the effort here be in your back body, in your legs, everything there. Yeah, and if it shakes, let it shake. There you go. One more in, a little bit higher. Exhale, release. Nice. You can bend your right knee, bring your right foot up into your chest. You can get both hands under your right foot. And you can bring your shin across your body. Yeah, just start to work into that hip joint a little bit. You can do little circles. Maybe it's side to side. Maybe it's forward and back with the leg. Just take a moment to get to know that hip joint. Nice. And then bring the sole of the right foot into the inside of the left leg. Now, the fullest extent, I suppose, would be your right heel up and in to your groin. My hip mobility doesn't quite allow for that with my knee, so I typically put it right here just inside the knee.
If you need less, you go a little bit further down the leg. If you got more, heel can go all the way into your vegetables if you like. Just find that spot that's right for you. Nice. Now get really engaged with your right leg. Engage your right glute to draw your knee out and down toward the mat. Keep a firm pressure, the ball of your right foot into your left thigh. So really active pressing in there. Square yourself over your left leg. On an inhale, a little lengthen the spine. Exhale, start to fold over your left leg as you keep your right leg engaged. So your right glute is engaged, drawing your knee down, pressing the leg into your left. Active, really active. It doesn't seem active from the outside, but you know it is. Keep that action in the hips, gentle in the breath. And start to walk yourself back up tall. So you're tall on your spine. Bring your right knee up in toward the center. So you plant your right foot. Nice. So now you can start to, with your left arm, hug around the right knee. Maybe plant your right hand behind. If you have a little bit more twist in you, you can bring your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Whatever option is going to allow you lengthen your spine and easy breath. Each inhale a little longer. Each exhale a little more twist. Relax shoulders away from ears. Stay engaged with your left leg. So maybe you flex your left toes back toward your face. Just to stay engaged all the way through. Yeah. And start to release back to center. Both legs long. Just set for a moment. Just a moment up tall. Maybe bounce your thighs, your knees. A few breaths to bring your spine back into neutral. And you're starting to the other side. So bring your left foot in toward you. Maybe both hands can reach. Maybe shin comes across your body. Just get to know that hip. So do circles with the knee. Maybe side to side. And bring your left foot into your right thigh or wherever it falls. That will be okay for your knee and your hip. Engage your left glutes. It's not a passive pose. Really active. Engage the left glute to press your left thigh down toward the mat. And really active, pressing your left foot into your right thighs. Active, drawing down and apart, at the same time pressing in. A little bit longer on an inhale. Exhale, pull over your right leg. Keep flexing your right toes back toward you. Make some kind of connection there. The emphasis here is in the hips, in what the left hip is doing. So if you notice that if you're getting most of your feeling in your neck or in your shoulders, next to your ears, or rounding through your spine, walk it back a little bit. Let this emphasis come into the hip and the breath. And really carefully start to walk yourself back up tall. Bring your left knee in, plant the left foot down, and start this twist across to the left. You can wrap your right arm around, or maybe elbow comes to the outside of the thigh. Each inhale, a little longer with the spine. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Each exhale, a little more twist. And then start to come back to center. Yeah, plant both feet, bend both knees, plant them down. And then all the way onto your back with your knees up toward the sky. Little windshield wiper right to left with your knees. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees lay out wide. Start to bring some relaxing breath into your practice. Spine's all open. Blood's been moved around. Certain muscles have been fatigued a little bit. Just let your breath be calm. Let gravity do the work. Bring your knees toward one another. Back into your chest. Give a squeeze around, a little moving, a little rocking side to side. And start to set up for your rest. Take your legs out long. Heels wide, hands wide. If you have something to cover up your eyes, it can be really nice. Take a huge breath in. Fill all the way up. Fill the body. Open your mouth to side out. And again, big breath in. Side out. And now you just watch. Just watch what happens. The thoughts that come up, the breath that comes in.
Start to bring your breath back in. First. A little movement in your hands and feet. A little movement, arms and legs. Take a big stretch up overhead. Reach from your toes to your fingertips. Fill it up. Exhale, let it go. Nice. And however makes sense for you, come up to a seat. Go nice and slow. Don't want to mess up the vibe. Just a moment to sit with it. And I always wish I had 10 more minutes at the end of a practice to do a full 10-minute meditation. Alas, we don't. If you like hands together, you can do hands together. If not, that's okay too. One last breath in. Together, let it go. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. All those good things in me, all to you. Namaste.
Namaste.